And the stupidest thing of the year, I was supposed to talk about this, and then the Monique interview dropped, and we couldn't get into it because the Monique interview just swallowed up everything like a vortex. So I said, I'll hold back on it. I swear to God, I was just about to go live. I was in Kwame Brown's live, and as soon as I get off, the Monique interview goes live. And I was supposed to go 30 minutes later, and I said, yo, KB, I'm gonna have to hold off. This is not gonna happen. And I'm glad I didn't, because now this has flushed itself out completely. There's been responses, there's been all kind of nonsense going on with this. And I felt it was only right we get into it the way we do. Now, everybody knows me, right? I am a guy that don't take BS too well. And it all started with Austin Rivers making a comment about Bronny James. And we're going to get into that. And Steven Jackson felt compelled to intervene in the said conversation. Now, to make sure everybody understands this, Steven Jackson don't like Austin Rivers. Told Doc he didn't like him to his face. Known for it. Talking about I just don't like him. I think he got an attitude problem. This is back when they was playing. Now, this led Jack to make some egregious statements. But I want all you guys to hit the like button, subscribe to the page. We're going to have a Patreon version to this, which goes into the backstory of Austin Rivers and Jack. So we'll get into that a little later on. But moving forward, let's just keep the YouTube. Yeah, we'll do the YouTube version and keep it, keep it funky. So don't forget the super chat works. The Cash App is KARCENO, as you can see probably on the banner. Bam! Donate to the Cash App, KARCENO. You know what time it is. What? Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV, Dreamers Pro, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Thanks for the shout out in your video. I saw it, appreciate it. Yeah. Now, let's go into what happened and show you what happened with Austin Rivers. Now, they were talking about Bronny James on the show, right? And while they're talking about Bronny James, let's listen to what Austin Rivers said.
Look, the Lakers have, there's two.
Of course, it was the Lakers.
They are rising to the occasion.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the best thing for them to realize that.
This is the time of year that we've all seen LeBron James. He sort of turns up the pressure cooker a little bit. We've seen this time and time again, and you detailed it on the incredibly popular Hoop Collective podcast, Brian Windhorst, and all of you can catch on ESPN2 now. LeBron can pick up his option at any time. The deadline for him to do so is June 29th. Why in the world is that significant? Why in the world is that important?
The assumptions about anything, but I do think it's fair to say that that option, with Bronny being in the assumptions about anything, but I do think it's fair to say that that option, with Bronny being in this draft.
Okay, that's Windhorst. We're not worried about it.
Is something intriguing that a lot of people are just keeping in the back of their head.
Are you keeping it just back there?
I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want to see Bronny play with his dad. I really don't.
Why?
Why?
I went through something similar. It was a very similar situation, but also different. I was already in the NBA when I went to go play for him. What happens is a lot of people start to discredit everything that you've done. This kid has been in the limelight since he was born. First day on Instagram, he had 1 million followers. He's handled it so well. He's played well in Sierra Canyon amongst talent and was able to get himself to a school like USC. Right now, his numbers don't scream pro. So if he is to go in the draft or if he gets picked, it'd be great to get picked up by a contending team that could help him, put him in a situation, because he does have talent. He does have basketball IQ. He has potential. Him going and play with his dad, At this point in his career, just because Bronny's success isn't at a top tier level,
Right.
him getting drafted and playing with his dad, I don't want that negativity to come his way because he doesn't deserve it. He's not a top 10 pick. He's not a lottery pick. He's none of those things. I was all those things. And then still, when I went to go play for the Clippers, people were like, oh, you're only in the league because you're after me being the #1 player in the United States 2 years prior.
Right.
This is a whole different situation and at a different level because, yeah, Doc's great. LeBron James is the most popular basketball player to ever play other than who? Maybe Michael Jordan?
Right.
It just would be a lot, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I hope for the kid that he's able to not only play in the NBA, but play somewhere where he can kind of niche out his own identity. His name's already Bronny. You know what I mean? Everything that we talk about with him, it always kind of folds back to his dad, rightfully so. He plays for USC, and his dad plays down the street for the Lakers. It's just an insane situation, and the way he's handled it, I'm a fan of Bronny. I really am, but I hope it goes somewhere else. I really do.
So, Wendy, Golden State.
So, by saying he hopes that Bronny goes somewhere else and don't play with LeBron, nothing he said there was anything derogatory towards Bronny James. What he said made absolute sense. But Steven Jackson felt compelled to have to comment on it. Now, sorry about that. I got a text message. Now, getting back to this, there was nothing wrong with what he said, Jack. But, this is Steven Jackson. This is Captain Jack. And Captain Jack can't help but make a fool of himself. He can't help it. Some people just don't know how to stay out of trouble, even when they're trying to stay out of trouble. Captain Jack, he thought this was a good idea to say something about Austin Rivers and stick up for Bronny. This is going to be sticking up for Bronny. Rivers shouldn't say nothing. This is what Jack said. Welcome, as you see there. Woo! Yep, hit the like button. Captain Jack doubles down and starts making his comment known, right? And your daddy not LeBron. Your daddy and LeBron, shut up. Different is you trash. Bronny not. You can't compare to him, scrub. Now, none of it, all the cuss words is edited out, but none of this has anything to do with Jack. But it's funny to me, they're doing this and saying these actions, and this is what happened initially. And everybody started tearing Jack up on social media. But it's clear to me what this is. You see what I'm saying? It's clear. And you might be saying, well, what's that? Well, if you take a good look, you'll see a couple of things here, if you're paying attention. Austin Reeves works for ESPN. He's on the NBA Today. He's got an ESPN gig. Don't got an ESPN gig no more? Jack. He used to be at ESPN, and they fired him. You know who else used to work for ESPN? Matt Barnes. And you know what? They fired him. Why? Because of what they done. So they've been bitter at ESPN anyway. And then they got to see Rivers take the job that Matt Barnes used to do. But they blew those opportunities. The fans didn't do it. Nobody did it. They did it all to themselves because they want the smoke. But they going up in smoke. That's their problem. But it's everybody else's fault. Everybody else is tripping on them. Jack got to keep it real. He got to check in. He got to check in with a bunch of people he don't know, and he ain't helping one bit do any damn thing. But he got to check in with them to show I'm a real goon out here in these streets. But you a punk and you a sucker if you getting a good job and taking care of yourself and not checking in and not not going and living by the street code. Knowing Steven Jackson was not making his bones out in the streets. You should have learned when your brother passed in the fashion he did. Not talking about Georgie, you know what I'm talking about. When your big brother died, you should have learned from that. And said, okay, I got a chance here to do something right. You done got about 50 chances all your lives. You probably on your last life right now. You didn't went through 8 lives. You just your last life, Jack. So you trying to do anything you can to get a buzz. So social media was lighting Jack up because how stupid he sounded when he said that about Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers, for those who don't know, was one of the best players in high school, period. So it made his statement sound ridiculous, saying Bronny's was better than you and all this. And it's like Bronny James was not better than Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers, they see what Jack is trying to do is trying to make it look like what Austin Rivers had to go through his entire career. And this is why he spoke on it, because it was similar. Even though he's saying his father not as big as LeBron James, the pressure is still there because no matter what he does and accomplish, it's your daddy took care of that. He had the ball. Doc Rivers was never around him. Him and Doc really didn't speak that much. They were on the outs. So when they got on the same team, he was already in the league before he played with Doc. And they was like, the only reason he's in the league is because of the only reason he in the league is because his daddy. His daddy is the one keeping him in the NBA. Other teams call this guy to come ball. To come hoop. So I don't even understand what Jack problem could be with Austin Rivers. He's played on other teams that didn't have Doc. And he filled in the role perfectly for what they were looking for. He was never the problem. His college career, Jack, because Jack went to double down on his ignorance. See, this is what stupid people do. See, when you're ignorant and you get caught for being ignorant and saying something real dumb, you double down on the ignorance. Instead of saying, you know what, I took an L here. Let me fall back because I took an L. It's all on me. Let me take this L and walk it off. They don't do that. You know what Jack did? Jack said, I'm going to screw this up even more. I'm going to double down on what I said. No matter how stupid it is. This man spent $400,000 on a wedding, got everybody to spend their own money to fly out to his wedding just so he can cancel it the day of because the prenup wasn't signed. Some dumbness that he's supposed to make sure he done before he spent $400,000. That's Steven Jackson. You already know everything else, right? So ain't nothing about what he ever been doing in his life smart. When somebody keep making dumb mistakes, and you're like, man, Captain Jack, why can't you get it together? But then gonna sit there and act like he in a glass house, and he pointing the finger at everybody else. So here's what Austin Rivers had to say after Jack was getting lit up, saying Austin Rivers was one of the best players in high school. It was him and AD and somebody else on the cover of the Sports Illustrated and Slab. He was the #1 rated player in high school. And Jack says the dumbest thing I've ever heard in life. Man, everybody was good in high school. Wow. I swear to you, I can't lie. I won't make that up. So now Jack comes back after Austin Reeves sees that he's getting roasted all week on the chat. And even active players are like, man, Jack, that's just dumb. And he says, I didn't even have to fight my own battles. This is what Austin Reeves said. I didn't have to fight my own battles with ignorance. Y'all corrected it for me. Thank you for not siding with delusion. Thank you for not siding with delusion. Who wants to side with delusion? When you side up for delusion of grandeur, this is what the process is. This is what it comes out to be. Well, this is kind of like what it looks like. Delusion of grandeur. Yep. So, of course, Jack ain't gonna like that. Somebody coming to him like this. So they was like, man, I think Steven Jackson got CTE or something. That's what Famous said. And that made Jack mad. Y'all know the guy Famously or whatever. You know, he makes all the funny Instagram posts. So he come in and goes full Steven Jackson again. Right? He goes right in at Famous. He is like, CTE ain't nothing to play with. Never been diagnosed. I pray for those who dealing with that. You clout chasing Famous 32, bet that. He might be nice to Negroes who can't hoop or never want it. Y'all hate the truth. It sound like hate to people who hate the truth. Noted. I see all the comments. Keep that same energy when y'all see me. He was good in high school. Best way to say he wasn't good in the league. Once again, Jack. Doubling down on the ignorance and the delusion. So now he wants to move the bar. Still won't let it go. That's Jack's problem. He don't know when to let it go. Like, stay down, Rocky. Stay down. You've already been proven that your statement made no sense. Everybody know it didn't make a lick of sense. But that didn't stop him. He had to go on video to make it worse. Now, Jack came down and had these words to say right here. Let's listen to Captain Jack double down on the ignorance.
What up, world? Hey, this for all you non-hoopers out there that's just running your mouth. I ain't got no problem, little bro. He just wasn't good to me, and that's my opinion. And every time somebody say somebody wasn't good in the NBA, they go, the first thing they say, but he was good in high school. That's your first way to say he wasn't good in the NBA. But he was good in high school. Look, bro, everybody was good in high school. And if you're being real, and if you know something, the best high school players either didn't make it to the NBA, dead or in jail. And that's facts. Everybody was good in high school. So if you wasn't good in high school, yeah, you give that props. Cool. Everybody was good in high school. Y'all can have it. I ain't got no problem with it, bro. I have my opinion. That's just how I feel, y'all. And it ain't going to change. Motherfuckers talk about me for 20 years. Nobody said nothing until we said something. Look, bro, I don't give a damn. Bro just wasn't good to me. Salute to him.
Now, boy, if that just didn't double down on the hate and the ignorance of Steven Jackson, my goodness, that's just ridiculous. Everybody was good in high school. Nobody, no, there's not a lot of people good in high school. Okay, that could play. You had a lot of individual talent that could play the game like above everybody else. Like you might have some kids that need some milk of magnesia or something to get their muscle in. You know, they ain't hit their growth spurt yet, and they going against some guys who they went through puberty. So yeah, you'll have some of that, but talent is spotted. When they have talent, it's something else. It speaks differently. Talent. And the disrespect Austin Rivers is going through is that he's being disrespected by a guy he was better than. He wasn't good to you, Jack. He was better than you, Jack. Never will you ever rank the best high school basketball player in the country. You wasn't. Everybody was good out there in high school. Okay. He played at Duke. Then he went to the draft. Okay, what did he do at Duke? What did he do at Duke? He played 1 year in Duke before he went to the NBA. 1 year. What did he do, Captain Jack? Because you say you act like he just was good in high school and he sucked in college. And he just sucked in the pros. What did he do in college? He was on the all-freshman team for the ACC. He was the Naismith Prep Player of the Year. He was in the Parade All-American, first team. Right? In college, he was Rookie of the Year, ACC. First team All ACC. Right? An All-American, he was on the third team in college in 1 year. 1 year, Jack. Let that sink in 1 year. So how are you sitting here telling me Austin Rivers was a bum? That's crazy. Austin Rivers is a bum. Unbelievable. And Bronny James is better than Austin Rivers. Wow. And the disrespect and jealousy goes on. Didn't I say he was going to double down on the ignorance? The man played at Duke. Played there 1 year and was all ACC. Right? Rookie of the Year, everything. But let me guess, Jack. Everybody was good in college. Man, whatever you smoking on, Jack, put that out. They lacing your stuff, dog, because your brain is gone. That's just a way to say he wasn't good in the pros. This is what it kills me with Steven Jackson, man, because you want to root for him. You think he like one of the guys till you realize that he just want to be one of those guys. And he not. Steven Jackson is just one of those guys who's just a walking problem for no reason. It's like, dog, you a problem for no reason. There's no reason for you to be all messed up. I'm sitting here just thinking about it like, damn, why is he so screwed up? That's Captain Jack for you. Screwed up beyond all recognition. Yeah, I had to put this thing on the charge. But that's what I'm saying. When you see people that's not keeping it real, and they swear to God they the realest people alive, and they always telling you how real they are. I'm real, I'm real, I'm real, and they ain't doing what's real. This is how it all start falling apart. This is how it all start going to the left. Now he from Port Arthur, Texas. He over there where them big Beaumont, Texas dudes is. He over there from where Jimmy Butler at. Now, was Jack a great high school player? He was a high school All-American. Because I remember him in the McDonald's game with Kobe and all those guys. So, yeah, I remember that. And he was saying he should have got MVP of that game. And they robbed him of MVP at a McDonald's game. Now, he often said he was a great player in the league, one of the best. Jack is what you would call a scorer. But you're not going to get nothing else from Jack. Jack was a good scorer. That's it. He wasn't a great rebounder. He wasn't good at assists. Jack was a scorer. Now, when he got to Golden State and he was in Indiana for a while, he was putting up 18, 16. But when he was in Golden State, he was able to flourish and flush his game out and be the guy that they thought, okay, this guy going to be our guy. And he did a modest, put up 20, but he was a role player on that team. But he want to be the star. But he's a role player. He's a good guy to be your Scottie Pippen. Now you go to Charlotte. You ain't got nothing but the green light. That's all you got to do. Go out there and just start blazing away. But he was a problem teammate. Now we all know Austin Rivers had a better career than Steven Jackson in the league. I mean, I don't know if Austin ever won a championship, but he got one with the Spurs. But that's beside the point. At this point, Steven Jackson was just in the league. Yeah, he went to Lincoln High School. He won a state championship in his junior year and, screwed up anything else he had going on. He couldn't, he wasn't smart. So he failed his ACT and SAT, which made him academically ineligible to go to Arizona. So then he went to Butler, him and Lee Nayland. So I'm just saying, man, what you said was pretty dumb. You wasn't a better high school player than him, than Austin Rivers. You wasn't a better college player than Austin Rivers. And you damn sure wasn't a better NBA player than him. You might believe you are, but that's just my opinion, Jack. You was a scorer, you can put up 20, but so can Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers would have gave you the business. But we know what this is really about. We know what this is really all about. And you want me to tell the whole world, we're gonna do that on the Patreon, but we know what this is all about. So Yeah, we'll do that on the Patreon. We'll tell y'all what that's all about and give y'all the lowdown on that. So anyway, shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. I want to say shouts out to Mondo Black TV, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez. Welcome to HDII TV. And that should do it, y'all. I'm about the dough. I'm about this piece. Feel me? Now, okay, all right. I have to see what was this. Some tag on my shirt. But yeah, I gotta shut it down. I gotta get some sleep. Deuces.